This is where your weekend of rugby begins. Thursday night lights here on FRUK, and we have got Soyaux Angoulême against Valence Roman. That's a mouthful, both of those. I'll just be calling them Angoulême and Valence for most of the evening, FYI. Thank you for watching. There is the beautiful mid-French town of Soyaux Angoulême. Games coming up, and they're coming thick and fast in the build-up to the playoffs now. Colomiers-Brive, and then it's Colomiers on the road at Provence. Those are a couple of absolute bangers. Looking forward to this one here as well. And there we go, round 22. There are 8 rounds left. Hold on, am I doing my maths right? Is it 8 rounds after this one, or 8 rounds including this one? The playoffs are coming soon, and there's a whole bunch of very important games that are only getting more important with every week that goes by. Soyaux Angoulême against Valence Roman is only the start, and you can have a look at the other games that are going on. Keep an eye out on the channel for all the highlights that follow from every game round as well. It's always mad, and all of the madness is included in the highlights as well, and that is how things stand in Pro D2. And you can see Valence on the road tonight are in the playoffs, and they're kind of the Soyaux Angoulême of this season, the team that is punching well above their weight in terms of their budget and the size of their squad, and they're mixing it with some of those big guns, and they'll want to try and keep that cushion from Oyonnax and Brive. Joe Worsley is alongside me tonight. Joe, how are you feeling? Well, I know you haven't been feeling great this week, so how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling very good now, thank you. My voice has dropped an octave, so I'm hoping it's going to improve my commentary.
Excellent. This is an interesting matchup, isn't it? We've got Angoulême 10th in Pro D2, Valence riding high.
Yeah, I mean, Valence we were raving about last year. We really enjoyed their attacking play. This year they built, like Colomiers have done, the kicking game, and the defence has improved. So whilst maintaining their attack, they've become a much better team, and with the small budget they have, they're doing so well. It's a joy to watch teams like that punch above their weight. I mean, Soyaux Angoulême did it last year. I mean, this year they're probably back down to the level probably where they should be.
If you just appreciate the fact there's live rugby and it's free, and if you're in the UK, this is the only professional men's rugby you can watch at club level for free. And we've acquired the rights, and if you just appreciate that, just drop a little thumbs up on the stream. That will help the algorithm gods to let other rugby fans like you know that there is a live match on, and you can be even more proactive than that by just sending the link to the game in a WhatsApp group with your rugby mates. They'll appreciate you for it. Yeah, it's I'll tell you what, you've missed some absolute belters. They've gone from like Tiffany, I think we're alone now, to Wonderwall by Oasis at Angoulême. I've not been to the town, but you have, Joe. You went there for the interview with Jonny Mays, which is up on the channel. What's Angoulême like?
Yeah, it's another really beautiful French town. In the middle there, I met with Dougie, our epic producer. We sat down, had a nice meal in Les Halles, a typical iron and glass building underneath which there's loads of market stalls and restaurants. Then we wandered around town. Then went off to Jonny Mays' house to do the interview. Yeah, it's just a pretty town. It's just so far from everywhere else. I don't think many people would have ever been there from the UK.
Well, the Stade Chanzy is the home ground for Angoulême, one of the increasing number of grounds that have an artificial pitch, and it suits the way Angoulême try and play, although they have gone with a bit of a beefier pack today. But I think that's one thing that should be in store. I don't want to curse it, as we see Richie Arnold warming up. They signed him to bring a different dimension to the way that they play, add a little bit of bulk, which they've definitely got in their pack tonight. But I don't want to tempt it, Joe, by saying this, but these teams play fantastic rugby when it clicks.
Yeah, I think you'll see Valence, they wouldn't be too bothered about that physicality coming their way, because the way they play the game's designed, because they have the money, they have to be the better team, the faster team, the team that can accelerate at the right moments, so they can make the most of the transitions through good kicking, through good defence, and obviously through good attacking play. They've got good systems. And let's have a quick talk about this team they're playing against.
Yeah, it's the young halfbacks that I want to draw your attention to. Berger and Baptiste Escoffre, both 20-year-olds. And there's more experienced guys on the bench, but these are the guys that won the away game in Brive, and I think this is a positive selection. I think this is maybe coach thinks these are the guys to take him through, but as an insurance policy, I mean, how much more experience does it get in this league than Ben Botica. And as for Valence Roman, they have sat a few of their guys out of the matchday squad. They have 8 rounds left to go. They've got 5 home matches, and they want to get into the playoffs. So I understand why they're doing that. That said, they've got some guys with it. I mean, Spandarashvili's 18 caps for Georgia. He's a handy player in the back row. Joe, someone you coached?
No, I did never get to coach him. I heard some good things about him, but hey, Valence last year, the consistency between their first team and second team was again quite remarkable, which is another attribute of a good coach. Someone who can touch everyone involved in the squad in a good way and make sure that when they perform in that 15, they maintain the kind of their game plan and what they're doing. So I'm interested to see if they can do that tonight, because yes, it is a weaker team, but like you say, there are a few players involved who are hopefully going to give them a shot at this tonight.
I just want to mark your card for one thing that I plan to do at some point during the game. When there maybe is an injury or a break in play, or at some point, I'm gonna open up Joe Worsley and just give him the floor to say what he thinks about that England performance at the weekend. As a man who pulled on the jersey with the rose and would never have missed the tackle that some of those England players did. I haven't actually spoken to Joe about it because he's been ill all this week. But I just don't give anything away yet, Joe. That's fine. But
okay,
you can tell us what you really think in a bit. I'm trying to work out what that mascot is on the far side.
You have to zoom in a bit.
I can't tell, but it's doing.
We talked about that. Dougie and I talked about this.
Yeah, is it no? It's Grenoble that have an elephant.
There's some sort of flying insect, I think.
Yeah, I think it was just saying it looks like a bug. A mozzie. Anyway.
I'd say clubs with insects as mascots are legendary, huh? God rest their soul.
Well, this one's having a great time. Living their best life.
Yeah, but there's a dead wasp in Coventry just squashed on the floor. On the other hand,
I've heard it might reappear. It might be in hibernation and coming up in Kent sometime soon. Maybe, who knows?
I hope to God all the suits and mascot outfits are there somewhere still in storage.
Right then, the home team about to get out onto the Stade Chanzy. Matu'u with a little special high five with one of his teammates. 38 years young, Matu'u, and part of a slightly bigger size profile in this front five. They have lacked a little bit of power. The rest of their squad are loving life, aren't they?
Yeah, that's more like gladiators, isn't it, than walking out on the pitch. Got a bum slapping going on. That means they're up for it.
Maybe I think they're just
rugby.
Yeah, they're just happy to have the FRUK coverage, I reckon. And here they come. The pyrotechnics are going. We're ready for some live rugby. Who needs Six Nations? You got FRUK.
This just keep you going when you just be shivering in your shower or on your sofa, cold turkeying after 3 games on the bounce. This will keep you going.
Yeah.
For the next 10 days until we get back into it again, guys.
And this matters. Like these games, Joe, you've been in a playoff hunt with Breve. What's it like at this stage of the season when you're eyeing up the table and there's bun fights for positions, whether it's getting into the playoffs, getting a home semi-final?
Valence have been playing very well this year. You normally get clearer about who you can beat, who you can't, apart from a few teams around up +3 or +4 below you. Up and above. It's a difficult period for some teams like Angoulême. If they lose a game like this tonight, they could plunge into a lack of confidence and down into that relegation fight. If they win tonight, they basically secured their season. They can kick on and have some fun. So for them, it's a different gravy than Valence.
Well, it is Valence in white, getting us underway, kicking from right to left. With their trademark black and white checks. They've got a cool badge, cool image, cool kit. And the purple of Angoulême with a nice clean exit to kick us off.
Yeah, a bit of a ropey... I don't know, I'd be happy with that as the Valence team. They've got 35 metres, straight away an attacking opportunity. A quality launch play will get them into that 22, maybe off the first attempt. So let's see what happens.
One comment says, bizarrely, I'm looking forward to this weekend. There's no England match to mess it up. Yeah, well, there's always a silver lining. This game, hopefully, is going to be entertaining as Angoulême try and bust out the line. There's a clean line break early, and is this going to be a try in the first minute? Lazaro, the scrum half, recycles the ball. Callum Randall, off his wing. That was all too easy getting through the middle. I think it was Ben Netheru, Fijian centre, might have bust a hole in the Angoulême defence, and it means Valence straight away. And there is Netheru. It was definitely him on that occasion.
Oh. Nice play.
Lethero sniping. Possibly with penalty advantage, I'm not sure, did the referee say?
Yep, they have advantage.
So free ball here for Valence. Big early statement. They have rested some players, but they mean business. Number 8, More Ionio, the Samoan. So a Fijian and a Samoan have got Valence into this position, and it's going to be an absolute walk-in for the first try for Adrien Martin, the 20-year-old, with his very first try for his club. It's his 5th start at this level, his very first try for Valence Romain. What a start.
That is a great start. I'd say a pokey exit from Angoulême, give him this chance. Let's look, they're very good at these moves in which they play out the back and they're making the money ball, but I think it was George Tisley just went all in for the interception, and when you do that, it's got to be 100% cool. Your teammates have to fold in behind you, and they didn't, and they gave a huge line break behind which, with a penalty advantage, it ain't a surprise they're over in the corner.
A giant Fijian centre and carrying the ball in one hand. Name a more iconic duo as Martin gets up and nails the touchline conversion as well. Crisp attack. We talked about how good Valence's attack was. Soyaux Angoulême were that team last year with amazing attack. Valence tightened up their game. They've got an all-court game now, but they've kept that attacking edge that they had last season when they were one of the surprise packages of the league. Oh, shot. What response do Angoulême have? Just see the tight head prop Tom Ross, the Australian. First game of the season, former Waratahs, Brumbies and Nice last year.
See, there's a big difference. That kick quality is far better from the Valence team. Little moments like that, winning an extra 20 metres more, 15 metres more than Angoulême did on the first exit, can change the dynamic of what's going to come your way next. So now, if, for example, Valence defend this well and the Angoulême team have slow ball in around the 50-metre line, then it can swing Valence's way quite quickly. So Angoulême are going to have to put something down pretty quickly here.
Clean line out at least for Angoulême. Target set by Mathis Lafont. And that's the kind of contact that some of these players have been selected for. That was Farmer Sealy.
Yeah, he looks like he won't be playing much more than 50 minutes.
He looks absolutely gassed already, doesn't he?
He does. He does. He's an enormous human, another enormous human in French rugby.
Yeah, 7 caps for Australia. He played at the 2023 Rugby World Cup with his Angoulême teammate Richie Arnold. Oh, sit down. And he was signed from Moana Pacifica for this season's effort. And they needed a little bit of something physical like that.
You see them high-five each other there?
Yeah.
Odd.
Underthrown.
Do you reckon he's saying, let's take it easy?
Yeah.
Take it easy around Macca.
A lot of English being spoken between the Angoulême teammates. Carlo May out the back. And the youngster, Baptiste Escoff, waiting for the pod to get there. Matu'u eventually makes it round. It's slow ball again.
Taking a year to get to the kick. Very slow processes.
If you are going to set a caterpillar, there's not many people you'd want being the last man than Richie Arnold. He's about 10 foot long. But they've got the ball back. It's been contested. Sami Zuhair, former Valence player, carries. This time quick ball. And into space, to the edge, just in front of Debec.
Ooh. Really painful.
Oh, spilled by Arnold. Good shot. And the space is there in the backfield. Oh, is he going to catch it? Oh. This is a particularly solid artificial pitch. This is like the
that's a hell of a bounce.
This is like one of those ones at school you get the burns from when you do a sliding tackle in PE.
1982 synthetic, the first ever one made.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it Luton Football Club had one?
Yes, they did. It was basically
destroyed every player's knees.
Yeah, it was just like a carpet laid over concrete.
Player safety. It reminds me of, well, I say it reminds me of Thao, not from any sidestepping incredible play, more from his body shape. That way.
Yes, it's a good shout. What a player.
Well, Thao was incredible, wasn't he, when he had that year or two? His step was unbelievable. Oh, Jesus.
Was there a documentary, I want to say, that someone went to find? He went missing and someone went to find Thao.
Like that musician, the Argentinian musician in South Africa.
Yeah, that's right.
Finding...
And he had like some... He was really ill with like... Oh, dearie me. Let's focus on this scrum for now. Wow.
Man.
Got monstered.
I think he must be from that Australian era where they couldn't scrummage, if that's happened. Or is he literally... that scrum was destroyed by not a first choice Valence scrum. They'd be worried about that.
Tom Ross, it's his first game. So
that high five he gave him in the line out saying have a good one tonight, he probably shouldn't have done that.
He absolutely monstered it.
Look at the one there going, you see him there.
Yeah.
You see that, it's a really good shot, everybody. So the one was much lower than three. Three just didn't get low enough, and as a result, the one got underneath him. And as soon as he's underneath him, you're going to pop him up in the air. He can't push. It just destroys the opposition scrum. That was a really good angle on a tight head losing to a loose head.
And it's put Valence, what an opportunity now. 7-0 to the good already. Moore goes down, slides around the edge. Idumi on the carry, round the corner. Spandarashvili, the Georgian international, gets repelled. They've got numbers. There's having spilled in contact. And they're off. Berge. So both sides have been a little bit wasteful with opportunities. Defence has been committed. And Stade Chanzy's just gone a little quiet. You're a defence coach, Joe. What are you saying? Is that a good defensive set or lacking quality in attack?
More of an error from Valence, I think, in handling. You'll see it here. So there were two men as an option, and I don't think the outside runner realised it was for him. It was more of an error for Valence than any kind of great D from Soyaux Angoulême.
Line-out's been a contest, that one. Nathan Hugoen gets the ball, and again, I think we're going to see plenty of that this evening from Netheru. There's a few large Fijians in the back lines of the two teams. I mean, he looks a bit of a unit as well. Doria Marceline, but he's been turned over there. He's on his senior debut tonight.
Both of those do look like units, but again, you can see there that It was a pretty poor launch play at the start, very slow ball. Second phase, they send up a single runner who gets tackled on the floor quite quickly. Support is really late. Valence should be better than that. That's a sign of a team that has been changed. It's a sign of a team that haven't got people in the right position to clean out a ruck. That's a sign of a team that's not as organised as it should be. Because somebody ballsed up on their roll, and the execution of that launch play wasn't great anyway. Now, opportunity for Soyaux Angoulême.
Good turnover from Leo Labat, who's in his second season from Toulouse. So he was a teammate of Richie Arnold's not so long ago, who catches the ball now. As Matutu busts off the wing. Another handling error. Another opportunity begging. But there you go, he might have had trouble at scrum time. He's loving the carries, is Farmer Sealy.
Yes.
Snipes round the back. Was that off? Oh.
Yeah, he was crossing.
Would have been a lovely try, but... Yeah, Baptiste scoff.
So he's asking for the advantage. Where's the advantage? He said, look, you already mastered the ball, you had a phase. It was done. So, yeah, when someone cuts on you like that as a 9 or any player, you've got to give it to them, because you know if you keep it and you're in motion, that's going to happen behind. They take the option away from you. You just got to give it to them. Even if it's a hospital ball, it's their own fault for being so flat and arriving so hard so early.
Let's have a look at it.
That was a... He's obviously in the team for that, not the scrummaging. What a big, powerful unit, man.
Oh.
If you need to let the 9 run a bit there.
Yeah. A little hint at what Angoulême are capable of. As Joe said, I think it's less that Angoulême have had a poor season and more that they had a just outrageously good one, punched well above their weight last year. Huguin tidies up the loose ball, the kick pass to the right edge. Callum Randall hot stepping his way into Angoulême territory. Tom Ross already monstered the scrum, gets involved with the carries in the loose as well. Comes back down the blind side, kick. Pinballed into touch. The crowd have woken up anyway.
Referee, imagine having him coming up to you, an ex-international referee, coming up to you and complaining about the refereeing decision. Deuxième merde. A second shit decision, basically, yeah? So I'm translating directly here.
No competition this time. Valence goes to the front. Spandarashvili ekes out a couple of yards as it bananas over the top.
Nice.
And that's
good low tackle. That.
Yeah, Mawalu. Foul mark 2.
Yeah, minus the step and gas, judging from that one, though. Same appetite, though.
Did you ever play against Alfao?
Yeah, I think I played 7s against him once.
Oh,
I might even got stepped. Him, Vunabaka, Serevi was playing. It was ridiculous.
Did you manage to just, like, I'd be impressed if you just managed to lay one hand on one of them.
It was an interesting semi-final in Hong Kong that day.
Angoulême happy to play from inside their own half, not winning the contact. And the ball again, glacial. Trying to generate some momentum. Unsuccessfully, so I think it will go to the boot. Oh, yeah, a little short nudge from Berge. Hits it on the volley. Ramos-esque. That was a good decision. They've got Valence in trouble. Yeah, the crowd not happy. They're saying it's been sealed off. Not allowing a contest.
couché. Mais il est couché, tu vois pas qu'il est couché. Et alors,
Ruiz is getting into him again now. He's talking about that. Do you see how the 10 was lying down, literally lying on the ball? Anyway, game on.
Est-ce qu'il est couché ou non?
De Beck. Just makes it, there we are. We're going to cut to the Angoulême coach again.
Yeah, to explain to everyone. So he took over Angoulême 2 seasons ago. He'd been a referee before, but he'd coached at various places since then. He's a very good coach by all accounts. But again, being an official and having that level of ex-referee coming to you, talking about your decision-making would be a different scenario to what's normal.
If you just showed anyone in the world that body language and said, what nationality is this man? It could not be more French. Well, it definitely feels hard done by. They've got themselves back into the game a little bit. That was an intelligent kick from Berge, the youngster.
Yeah, it was good, like 30, 35 metres. So it lands, no time to run, no time to kick. You've got to take the hit.
Scoff knows exactly where he wants Fire Musili. I like it. That's a sign of a good scrum half, though. A 20-year-old youngster bossing a former Australian international around. Left peg from Mao. Earns Angoulême a line out. Young pair of coaches, Joe. How common is it for the Pro D2 to top 14 in a head coaching role? Does that happen often?
Yeah, I think if you show promise, if you show ability, you show the team developed, then you can lots of coaches have played or coached in Pro D2 moved on up. It's part of a production line in a way.
Matuhu has got ahead of himself, needed to pick the ball up first. It's worked out okay for Angoulême. Labat with the tip pass to Burgo. A couple of metres on the collisions. A Scoff taking the lift, getting ragdolled. It might have worked out for Angoulême. They're going to surely check the knock-on, but that could be a try for Paul Berge.
I hope Scoff's all right. They are the tackles on a synthetic pitch I hate to see. From behind, low. If your foot gets caught, can be a nasty injury. I hope he's all right.
Maybe that was a training ground move from Matutu. Just, I'll pretend to catch it, knock it down.
Yeah, missed the kick.
Lovely lift, and this is the moment. Is it a knock-on? No. With all that injury, I think, do you know what? That makes that all the more amazing. He got absolutely ragdolled, and as Joe said, we hope he's okay, but the wherewithal to keep hold of the ball.
Philippe, s'il te plaît. Appel vidéo.
He's having a look anyway, Tim.
On veut contrôler deux choses sur le dernier ruck qui a précédé la situation d'essai en terrain.
My first glance, it came off a foot.
Premièrement, s'il y avait une paire de contrôle blanche avec un en avant. Deuxièmement, une prise au cou du 4 violet.
Could be a neck roll, though.
Richie Arnold's knee. Oh, is that what they're looking at? So it's not about...
Yeah, a neck roll.
Oh, I see.
I'm not sure he's that conscious. It's already away from the ball, though. But he does get his neck. The guy's not on the ball at the time, though. Oh, thank God his leg. Thank God his leg got out.
That could have been horrendous.
There, the injuries on a synthetic can go horribly wrong. Could you imagine his studs are caught? All that
weight of
force.
two guys. Oh, wow.
Well, that force going through his tib and tib. That's how you get those double fractured compound fracture. Horrible to think about.
Un avant blanc dans un premier temps. Et ensuite, prise au coup 4, pénalité retournée contre les violets à 25 mètres de la ligne de touche et 20 mètres des poteaux. D'accord? Philippe, j'ai une décision. Il n'y aura pas essayé. Il y a un avant blanc, puis prise au coup du 4 volé derrière. Et le 10 qui tombe chez nous. Le jeu déloyal prime. Ok?
Yeah, so they think two things. There's a fall, he knocked it on, and the second thing is there's a penalty for White because Richie did a neck roll.
Reprise du temps. Pas essayé.
It's irrelevant, but I think then calling it a knock on was not correct. But yeah, I guess he did grab his neck. Well, you can hear what the Stade Chanzy thinks of it. Atmosphere is absolutely bouncing. We're 20 minutes in. It's Valence 7-0 up.
Thursday night.
Thursday night, and we're here for the run-in right through to the playoffs. Some weeks we've got more than one game coming your way as well, and all the playoffs, as one team will go up to the top 14. Well, at least one team will go up to the top 14.
Wow.
Another touch.
Yeah. Another amazing launch play.
Debec that time. Another one straight off the training ground.
Non, derrière, 5. Derrière, elle est conservée. Jouez-le.
Oof. Oh, there feels some edge on this one now. It feels like Angoulême are playing angry, doesn't it, Joe?
Jouez-le.
Yeah, Matthew there, as he got up, he was pretty revved up about the tackle he just made.
Well, if it focuses the mind, can they get some change out of the possession that they've had? First job, win some territory. This is kind of the balance play that Angoulême weren't really doing last year. They were all caught playing from anywhere. High risk, high reward. But when it really mattered, they got found out in the power game as the two hookers lock horns. Randall to one edge.
Ooh. Yeah, definitely knocked down. That 10 doesn't look bad. He's for the second choice 10, a young player. It looks pretty tight. The Valence player attacks the line, drags defenders around.
Oh no, the youngster is beige for Angoulême.
Yeah, but the second choice.
Rador, yeah, he's handy. He's a very much a
play before.
No, he's very much a petit general. He's kind of played, actually probably more than half of his rugby at scrum half. But
okay, that's good.
Yeah, he's handy.
So Luc Meret, the 10 they normally have, I know pretty well, coached him years ago. Very good, steady player, amazing kicker, really blossomed at Valence, seems to be playing some great rugby. It's nice that he's got a backup that can do a good job.
Discipline is costing Angoulême at the minute. 2 penalties in succession against Richie Arnold. They don't compete. Trying to stick their head in the spokes. Richie Arnold reaching over the top. And that's good maul defence. Netheru. And again, the effort to try and take it out the back. They've got caught and lost some territory. Idumi. Another penalty.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. It looked like originally he's on it. Let's have another look in a second. But if his hands were indeed touching the floor before he pulled the ball away, definitely a penalty. Let's have a look now. You can also say they didn't release him there, but his hands are blatantly on the floor. It does look sus from some angles. Also, he's got 2 players pushing him from behind in bizarre positions. It's really frustrating as a ball stealer to be pushed from behind like that, because it often affects your balance and prevents you from actually staying upright. your support players have to be very, very particular about when they come in, when they support, what they do around you, or they can upset you more than the opposition sometimes.
This for a 2-score lead. Fullback Adrien Martin. Martin. Is it Martin? I'm never... There's some names where you hear different players spelt the same, pronounced differently.
In Spanish it would be Martin, wouldn't it? In French, Martin. Martin.
Have you been to Valence, Joe? Have you been to their ground?
No, I've not been there either. I say I wasn't at Brive all the time, so I missed quite a few of the games.
Well, that's one thing that has worked quite well for Angoulême. Not that. So what, his scoffer is putting himself in harm's way. Musili carries hard again. Richie Arnold, they're going up the guts of Valence. They have picked some extra tonnage in their pack. Shifting Bukaboom, the Canadian, into the back row is part of that. He often plays lock. So understandably, they're going a little bit narrower, and when they are trying to go wide, they've just messed up another one.
Yeah, that was a really interesting thing to play. So they went a bit Toulouse on it. That kind of French style about trying to accelerate the play around the ruck, forwards picking and going, playing as fast as possible. So am I supporting? No, the ball's free, boom, I pick, I go, you support him. They got a little bit of go forward at one point. But the moment the backs took it, it wasn't probably the greatest ball at that point. It had been slowed down, and they took an option in which you're making a long pass followed by an inch pass in the back. And with the line speed and pressure coming on, so because the ball before was slow, that kind of play, these sort of situations can happen out the back. I think in those sort of situations, you've got to pick a play where you're probably going to attack the line off that first pass, try and separate some defenders to give a one-on-one or just an arm tackle at best. Trying to play to the width like they did is probably naive with the situation they had. Again, this is about how the team's coached and the halfbacks picking the right, making decisions that are correct in the situation.
What's it like scrummaging on an artificial pitch, Joe? Is there any major difference?
You've obviously haven't got to clean your studs.
That just means the props can't take an artificial rest.
No, they can't. Props love cleaning their studs, the boots are. It's just that foot placement's pretty solid. It's so solid, you're going to lose a few of those slips that you get on other pitches. Not hybrid pitches you have these days are so good as well. It doesn't happen on them either. There'll be none of those slips compared to a crap grass pitch.
Ooh. There's some power coming through the Valence pack, that's for sure.
Ooh, this is bad. Oh man, that's so on.
Naseru punches the floor. He knows the opportunity that's just gone begging.
Oh, man, all he had to do was catch and give it. He ran onto it so hard. I don't know why. It's a 4v2. He's a worried face, isn't he?
A couple of statement scrums for Valence. I hope we get to see a replay of that. Here we go. Here we go. That's cinema. Tom Ross, you can just see him and really tight with his hooker. Idumi and Ross just doubling up on
French guys in bars cheering at the screen on those scrummaging. They love their scrummaging. They love it in France.
Well, funnily enough, there's chat today. Matthew Reynald's been in the news saying that France and South Africa have been at the World Rugby Conference defending scrums, which Australia and New Zealand are trying to minimise, he says. So that's what Matthew Reynald had to say.
Yeah, let's talk about that later. It's quite an interesting one, actually. The state of the game.
Shape of the game, I think it's called, isn't it?
Oh, shape of the game, sorry.
Yeah,
shape
right.
or state? The shape of the game. Yeah, the shape of the game conference they have annually, it's traditionally been dominated by the Southern Hemisphere. For some reason, us in the Northern Hemisphere didn't seem to involve ourselves as heavily. I don't know why, especially the French, because they're French a bit, but also they didn't realise the effect it was having on things. And now you have a lot of Kiwis and people in positions where they can make some big decisions about the avenue you're going to take, the path you're going to take when it comes to feeding the ball, for example, and the speed of the scrum. And scrummaging is just one of the issues. There are several other areas which people want to make sure don't become an issue. But scrummaging is a big one because things like we see the top 14 French rugby as we see tonight, the ball being straight, reset scrums, how much time that actually wastes, they want to get rid of this and that not to be a problem. But the French want to have a scrum that's competitive. And they're really trying to get French people in the room because, honestly, until 3 or 4 years ago, the French didn't do anything about this. But now they're going to start sending influential people into that room to discuss, to argue, and to debate the importance of scrummaging, stick up for it, as well as other vital areas of the match. Because really, I think the Aussies and Kiwis want to go down the showbiz route, just because they feel it'll make more money for them as a spectacle. Want to make the ruck much harder to lose unless you mess up. Make it almost unwinnable. But I mean, the French guys are talking about it, just say, if you want to do that, go play rugby league. Let's keep it as it is, which I agree with. It should be a contest. Anyway, we could talk about that in a whole podcast episode, Tim.
We should. We will. As you've seen, with that impassioned speech, I felt like I should have played some like classical music underneath it, Joe. Rousing music.
I'm on a soapbox. I'm just getting off my soapbox now.
I love it. But as you can see, Motu'u is in the bin for a succession of penalties to Angoulême. He was just appealing on the touchline with his teammates after he'd gone off that he made a clear release at the ruck. And it means that Valence increase their lead, 13-0 now. And with an extra man and all that extra power that they've got in their pack, you think they might fancy that this is a big 8 minutes now for Valence to survive. They have an advantage and they have a little bit of go forward as well. Do they have space on the right-hand side? It comes out. Ball inside is a beaut.
They need a score here, huh?
They need a reaction.
Oh, lost
it. It's been stolen. Going back for the advantage.
He's active, actually. I was watching him on a chase earlier. He was actually running with the line. So he's active. He moves around the pitch. It's just that scrummaging. That scrummaging issue is huge.
13-0 down. What would you do, Joe?
I try. If your kicker's it's quite wide, that's the only issue. If the kicker's supremely confident and good at getting this, I'd probably take it because you waste more time. Your player can come back on. You get that 3 points back. If the kicker's not too hot, not too keen, then you might go to the corner. But again, that depends on your more qualities against the opposition and line-out abilities in the 22. So they would all come into it. I think they've decided here to go for the 3.
I do love how much now, Joe, wingers just work off their wing. The amount of wingers doubling up on the right-hand side. We saw Ireland do that amazingly against England at the weekend a bunch of times.
Yeah, it's to give them the liberty to go where they need to go. I mean, a lot of that shape years, wingers kind of, not all shape, but anyway, they move around a bit. But I don't know, it's nice to see Toulouse. Traditionally, Valence Panic would pop up anywhere and everywhere because he had the liberty in that Toulouse way of playing to go where he wants. People are now kind of fitting that into systems, dropping into systems out into another style. Wingers, good wingers, can move into positions where they can run onto it because it's often them who can be the option off 9 around the ruck.
We just had our first blast of Les Yeux d'Emilie over the tannoy. It's lovely to hear. I was actually in the Netherlands the other weekend.
You hear it there?
I was at Carnival, and they have their own Dutch version of that song, exactly the same tune, but they were playing it everywhere I went at this carnival. I love it.
I wonder if it's still Emily and
I didn't check the lyrics, but
in Hollande.
I was too busy raving away to banger.
Alors qu'il prend casser le carton jaune. Sérieux.
He's really riled up.
Yeah.
Even there, he's saying yellow card or something. Was it a late hit?
I definitely feel like they're not getting the rub of the green. Maybe in the half-time team talk, it'll be used to try and motivate the men in purple. They're 13-3 down. Valence have won 4 games away from home in Pro D2 this season. Angoulême, despite being down in 10th, have won the majority of their games at home.
That 9 is not a great pass for the ball.
That was a bonkers few seconds.
What's a bonkers few seconds?
That's a little bit...
Bounce pass, followed by a high pass, a kick. Don't know how that 7 was onside. Oh, man.
Oh, wow. Clean out. He's got some skills. So,
Well, apart from that bit.
yeah, his debut season in pro rugby from Toulouse. 20-year-old. I assume he's on loan from Toulouse.
If he is on loan, there's so many 10s. I'm sorry, he surely can't be.
Yeah, maybe not on loan. Because they've got Delpy at Colomiers.
If he is in line for the throne, he'll be up there with Tyndall in terms of how long it take him to get there. There's so many players in and around that squad. Delpy, yeah, for one, like a guy loaned away. Which we're perfectly on trying to get the young Belgium fly half 15 to come to Perpignan for a season. Anyway.
Was this...
When I saw it live, I thought it was never in. Yeah, it's obvious live.
There we go. You got one going your way, Angoulême. Eventually. No! They're saying it bounced in the field.
Really?
Capitaine.
I'm loving this. Crowd are going off.
On a une erreur d'interprétation. Ce qu'on va faire, c'est repartir au coup de pied à l'origine parce que le ballon touche la ligne au moment où il rebondit sur le sol. Donc la touche, elle est au départ du coup de pied là-bas et elle sera pour les violets.
Why is he telling them? It's so obvious. Just bat on, mate.
Oh, it's absolutely bouncing. I want to be there. Got the next best thing here on FR UK. At half-time, by the way, a little bit of a deep dive. Joe Worsley gave me access to his... Well, to his brain and stats, and a little deep dive into how France managed to change the way they're playing in this Six Nations. Oh, that... Oh, we've got some bagarre.
I didn't see exactly what caused the fight. Oh, he still caught it. Oh, maybe he lifted his leg there. This could be a penalty at least. I think he lifts his leg. And it looks quite intentional as well.
If you are new to the channel and this is your first Pro D2 game, it's not a Pro D2 game unless you have some handbags.
They're contractually obliged to have at least one fight per game.
One fight per game and mandated cards.
C'est sur la touche, ça. La touche, elle est où? Celle-là, c'est pas droit. La reprise, c'est après la détente. Ok, très bien.
That was incredible. That was such a bad throw.
Didn't think that was such a bad hit. Maybe just slightly beyond the horizontal.
I think it's just a penalty. Yeah,
penalty only, yeah. It's fine. Right, Angoulême have had a lot of possession in Valence's half. In their 22 even, and A penalty's all they've got to show for it. It's a big 4 minutes. There's still a man down, remember?
Yeah, I mean, they've actually done really well to be 3 points up in the period they've had this yellow.
And was that... Who was that throwing it in, was it?
Is it? Of course the hooker's not on, that's why. No.
Is it Texier? It's gone straight to the front. And even that's been called... Oh, wow. More protestations to the assistant referee.
Of course they're going to take a scrum.
Arrêt du temps. Le 8, changement, 8.
Going to bring on the hooker, and then I'm sure we're going to see the Soyaux Angoulême team get pushed back and stuff like their own arse again. I have a feeling we're going to see that again, which is a shame because they've done well in this last few minutes.
Mamadou Mete, signed from Stade Français, got a couple of games in the top 4 team last season. And they're going to put one of the backs on the flank to try and give him a bit of ballast, because I think we know what's coming here from Valence.
Flexion.
And they're going with 7. Get the pen advantage and then try a set move, I guess. Oh, that's a reaction. Wow, the 7 men of Angoulême.
That sounds like a movie. Oh, that's such rush from the side.
And now the penalties are starting to go against Valence.
I'm so happy and polluted. I don't know, was there a neck roll on someone on the ball? I was worried he was going to penalise Angoulême for coming from the side there, but thank God he didn't. I really want to see him score again before half-time, get back into this game.
Violent clear out. Real contest. It's like there's a bit of work going on in that end stand.
Yeah, they're having a big redevelopment, I think. Make the stadium bigger and more corporate and blah-de-blah.
Straight on the field, Mété takes the ball into the 22. He's isolated. They have to struggle to get that ball back. Are they going to be outnumbered on this next breakdown? They throw men in. So I think they're going to have to keep it narrow for now. Oh, spilled.
That was a hit, though.
That was a big shot on the big man.
Is he holding his head?
Yeah. Where is Falmasili? Is he still down? If so, he is. He's still on the floor. So Angoulême have only got 13 players on their feet and in the defensive line.
That was a big moment. Making that tackle, dislodging the ball, big moment. Playing with 13 guys. They're on the front foot. The back's 15 now. And will we see this tackle again and see if there was a headshot? Yeah, head to head. Could be only a yellow card there at least.
It was Idumi, the hooker. So we've just had one hooker coming back on the field after a yellow card.
Yeah, don't do it like Idumi. That shirt doesn't quite do it, does it? Yeah, like, you can't stay high like that. It's just mental.
So he was obviously thinking he was double tackling. I think he was trying to reach for the ball, and it's just clumsy, isn't it? Really clumsy.
Ok, Philippe, on va utiliser l'angle précédent, qui est le plan serré, s'il te plaît.
What do you reckon? I think it might be yellow.
Yellow card.
He's not. He stops himself. His momentum's off a bit, but he's still going forward really high. He doesn't make any real effort to get low.
You could make
head on head.
You could mitigate down and go the other teammate next to him made it difficult to get lower, so yellow only.
Donc je pense que sur ces images-là, je suis à carton jaune contre le 2 blanc.
Referee agrees with you, Tim, so I think it's really yellow.
Oui, lui est égal, donc c'est du jeu déloyal. Ça va sur le carton jaune. Non, ça me va. On reste sur le carton jaune. J'ai une décision, Philippe, s'il te plaît.
So his assistant was just saying maybe you want to have another look, and referee's happy with his call.
Yeah, big moment though. So come back to 15, got 10 minutes now. 10 minutes playing against a team less, and then get half time. So what do? Do you take the 6 now? I think I would. Get the 6 knocked over quickly.
It depends on what. It's fairly central, isn't it? It's right there on the 22. Yeah, this is a big call.
You do have 1 forward more than them. Again.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
10 mètres.
Do it quickly, so you get 1 more.
Yeah, quite. That's one of the things I was going to say.
Anyway.
Valence did the opposite, did the same before. Took a penalty just after Angoulême got a yellow card, and took about 2 minutes to do it.
Back to 1 score though, if he makes it.
Straight through. It's a 1-score game. He's had some lovely touches.
Right, let's have a rampaging. If someone gets to go forward here and they get to play a bit, otherwise I think they'd be quite pragmatic. Not take too much risk at this point.
I mean, it must change the way your team talk. You're within a score, but you know you're going in at half-time with 8 minutes with an extra man. You can plot. Would there be specific? Is there a specific set of moves, game plan, tactics that you practice a man up?
A straight up yellow card. You go through scenarios and taking them, or the other team taking them, and what kind of potential holes they might leave on the pitch. With forwards, it's a bit less complicated. It can affect lineouts quite a lot. And certain positionings, front cover and things. So it's more being aware of those kind of areas of the game and how you're going to cover them or how you're going to utilise the opposition having. So when you get down to 13, things get really, you can change tactics radically.
Well, Valence maybe squeeze a bit of time off this clock. Oh, they made some ground there. I wonder if they'll have a crack now. Thought they might be happy to see the half-time whistle.
That's coming out.
No, I think we're going to get the half-time whistle anyway.
Ooh, let's go.
Wow. Is there an opportunity here to bust out? Surely he's going to put this one out. Oh, my word.
Oh, that bounce was deadly.
Lazaro.
If he hadn't got that out, wow.
What a moment. What a half. That was really good fun. Valence got out ahead to a 13-0 lead. Angoulême just kept making errors in the opposition 22, but now they're going to be playing in the second half with a man extra for the start of it towards their home fans in a stand which is complete. It isn't being renovated, so I think the noise in this place is going to get even louder than it was in that first half. We'll hear from the players as Angoulême stay out on the field. Joe Worsley will do his awesome.
Got to have the synchronised breath.
Got to have your synchronised breaths, just the way it is.
De Valence Roman. Vous êtes devant, une première période avec beaucoup de réalisme de votre part. Comment justement enchaîner sur ce rythme en deuxième période?
On va continuer à faire comme c'était toute la semaine. Je pense qu'on a bien respecté ce qu'on voulait faire en première mi-temps. On a de suite pu scorer et prendre un peu d'avance. Voilà, continuer, on est là, on a.
So we score pretty quickly, we're in front.
Continuer à faire ce qu'on a fait en première mi-temps et essayer de continuer à marquer des points.
Nous confirmer que c'est engagé.
So second half, going to try and score the points.
Vraiment qu'on n'avait pas joué sur synthétique avec les matchs d'hiver, là, passer ici, d'un coup, il y a beaucoup de rythme. Mais bon, ça va le faire.
So it's a synthetic pitch. There's a lot of speed in the game. Wow, that's interesting.
Et avant justement d'aller dans les vestiaires, la réaction du capitaine aussi de cette équipe de Soyaux Angoulême. Il y a du rythme, il y a de l'engagement dans cette première période. Comment arriver à faire basculer ce bras de fer en votre faveur?
Commitment in that first half.
On a beaucoup trop de fautes. On est indiscipliné.
Yeah, there was rhythm all right, but we had too many faults.
On est dominant en conquête sur les 20 premières minutes.
We're dominating in the conquête in the set piece in the first 20. I'm not sure about Scrum, mate.
Et surtout garder cette discipline pour pouvoir réussir à gagner.
So discipline, penalties, get that better in the second half. A much more accurate description of the half, I think, from the Soyaux Angoulême captain.
We have got a big second half coming up. It's 13-6 here, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to pick Joe Worsley's brains about England and France, Six Nations in general, but let's have a look at what France have been doing so well. France are cooking at this moment in time. They are favourites for the Six Nations Championship, could well get a Grand Slam, a long way to go before they get there, but no denying they have rediscovered their joie de vivre. And what is it that France are doing that just makes them right now look undeniable, look inevitable? Now, the first stat I'm going to draw your attention to, ball in playtime, which has been really high. Now, this is a feature of rugby across the board at all levels. Ball in playtime is going up due to law changes, due to tactical approaches to the game. But typically, the top 14 and French rugby more broadly has always had lower ball in playtime than elsewhere. And one of the common thoughts has been when you play France, don't put the ball off the field, keep them on their feet, keep them running, and eventually they will fatigue. And that has been true in the past. It is not true now. This is a French team that are very, very fit. Even Emmanuel Meafou went a full 80 minutes at the weekend, and he's a guy that usually comes off after 50. So I'm sure there's a lot of conditioning work been going on with this French team, and it looks like a marked change. Another stat I'll draw your attention to, fewer penalties. 17 penalties across 3 games in the start of this Six Nations Championship is absolutely superb. I think that's part of the secret behind the fact that France have only conceded 34 points across the first 3 games. Sean Edwards is doing some fantastic things with their defence. And I'm sure the fitness plays into that as well. But they look connected, they look motivated. And a penalty count which only gets better if you take out of the equation scrum penalties. Because they've conceded 17 penalties in total. 5 of them are against the tight head prop, whichever one was on at the time, at scrum time. So you could argue that if they sort their scrum out, which is a fundamental issue that they're going to have to sort out if they want to go and beat the biggest teams and win a Rugby World Cup. But you take those 5 scrum penalties out of the equation, and France, outside of the scrum, have only conceded 12 penalties across 3 games. That leads me nicely onto the subject of kicking, which there's a lot of people, and I've talked about this so much on the channel, a lot of people have this relationship where they just think kicking is boring. And France are maybe the single best example of how that is absolutely, well, it's just, I was going to use another word there, but it's not the case. It's absolutely not the case. And yeah, have a look at this. So France kick a lot, relatively speaking. England at the weekend when they played Ireland kicked 18 times. When France played Ireland in week 1, they kicked more than double that number, 39 times, 30 against Wales, 29 against Italy. And in terms of how many kicks with their possession, if you take the time France have in possession, they are kicking 1.88 times every minute against Ireland, 1.4 and 1.5. So basically every, what's that? Almost like between every 30 to 45 seconds, they're kicking the ball. And of course, it's not just about kicking or not kicking. It's about how you do it, when you do it, why you do it, and then what you do when you react to it. And France are getting some good change there. When you look at the kicking, the lesson that came from, yes, the defeat at Twickenham to England in the Six Nations last year, but also, and even more so, the defeat to South Africa in November. They are in a much, much better place than they were only a couple of months ago. and it's really encouraging to see from their point of view. I'll also have to mention Antoine Dupont. When you look at the kicks per game, obviously Jalabert has played one fewer game than the others, so this is averaged over the 3 matches, or 2 matches in Jalabert's case. Antoine Dupont is kicking the ball on average 15 times a game. Jalabert next, 10 times a game, and Ramos really not kicking that much. I mean, when he does, he pulls out incredible 50-22s. But Dupont is the main man doing their kicking, and a bunch of that is from the base of the ruck, and a bunch of that is contestable kicks, which France are winning back. The ability to kick off of both feet means that it doesn't matter whether they're on the right-hand side or the left-hand side of the field. He can kick equally well. He can launch it off both feet. It's such a fundamental, basic thing that it's not going to make highlight reels. But Antoine Dupont's kicking is out of this world good. And it's making a massive difference to France's whole game. And that's not even talking about the other things that Dupont does so well. And just to put it in perspective how much he's kicking, take the games against Ireland, France versus Ireland and England versus Ireland. England only kicked the ball 18 times in the 80 minutes against Ireland. All of England, the whole team. Antoine Dupont on his own kicked the ball 19 times against Ireland. And when you think back to that France-Ireland game, how entertaining was it? How much were we saying France played brilliantly? I need this narrative and this line of thinking to completely just go away, that kicking is boring. It's all about how you do it, when you do it, and what you do when you react to the kicks on either side. It's such an important and interesting part of the chess game that is rugby. In terms of the attacking stats then, they are ridiculous. Look at the defenders beaten. Over 30 in every match, over 40 when they played Ireland. And that is just the brilliant skill set and mindset of this French team. The offloads are completely, way above any other team. 25 against Wales and 20 against Ireland. Actually, there's probably one thing you can take from these stats in particular, is that you have to, if you can shut down France's offloads, maybe 2-man tackles, someone goes high, someone goes low, put a bit more pressure on the breakdown to slow it up a little bit, then you can limit the number of clean breaks that France have. It's noticeable that when they get the offloads, they get more clean breaks. Italy managed to limit the offloads, and they limited the clean breaks to 10, which is a significant chunk lower, nearly half as much as Ireland and nearly 3 times a third as much as Wales. And that's a big part of the reason why Italy was still in the game with 70 minutes on the clock. It was 19-8 until relatively late in the game. And that's a lesson for other teams to take away when you're trying to play France. But fundamentally, they just have a mindset and a skill set that a lot of other teams in the Six Nations, at least, haven't been able to match so far. And if they can take care of all of the other bits and pieces, I'm going to keep coming back to it, by the time they play South Africa in November, they've got to sort out their scrum. Otherwise, that is going to hurt them again. But they are in a good place. Of course, the other thing with France is you never know, are they going to go and have a mutiny amongst their squad? Someone going to fall out with someone else, and suddenly all hell breaks loose, and they don't even want to spend any time in the same room as each other. But they seem motivated and very together right now, and it is making for some great rugby. And yeah, the stats are bearing that out. And you look at the identity of this French team, and this stat, I think, points to the identity. And it's an identity that everyone is clearly on board with. When you look at the top carriers per game, in this case, so this is an average, the 3 people that are carrying the ball the most for France are their 3 playmakers, 9, 10, 15. The rugby IQ, the rugby intelligence, the ability to make smart decisions is highest in those 3 guys. You know what? If you try and shut Dupont down, then Jalabert will get you. If you manage to shut the pair of them down, there'll be space for Ramos. And these 3 guys are, as an axis of playmakers, it is just amazing to watch. The other part of it is the next 2 best carriers, after their 3 big playmakers, the next 2 most prominent carriers are either Guillard or Meafu, whichever one of them is wearing the number 5 jersey. And Guillard and Meafu are both amazing at that. Giant men and brilliant ball carriers. And the fact that it doesn't matter whether Meafu or Guiart are playing, they both end up with very similar stats. Both of them just behind the 3 playmakers. That says to me, this is a whole team that has a really cohesive together identity. They know what they're doing and they know why they're doing it. And they've got that brilliant blend just in those stats right there, that perfect blend of pure, brutal physicality and artistry. But you can see from those stats, Fabien Galtier is just tilting things, so the artistry is the one that's slightly more prominent. And when you've got the guys like Louis Bielbieri and Théo Atisogbi, and, well, I mean, take your pick of centres that they've got now, you can understand why he is wanting to twist things in that direction. Back in Pro D2 and, well, continuing the passion for French rugby are our friends at Roast Beef Rugby. They're always out at the games, in the grounds, at the little food eateries around the grounds as well.
Are they there again today?
Oh, they'll
Dick and Bob are there.
They love. That's Soyaux Angouléme's their team. So maybe they're there. We'll see.
I didn't realise it's their favourite team.
Yeah, they love them. They love them. So anyway, go and check out their channel and make sure you check back. We've got rugby coming. Courtney Laws is Brive next week, host Colomiers, and then Colomiers go to Provence. Big games in the run-up to the playoffs. Briefly, as we've got a moment then, Joe, your reaction to the weekend Six Nations rugby, and because you've pulled on the rose, and I very rarely find myself. I don't run around screaming in celebration when England are great, and I don't cry when England lose. I got angry on Saturday.
You're pissed off.
I felt angry. I felt like let down.
I don't think any of us really saw that coming. Ireland, they play to a level I don't think they've hit for a while. Special attack, they were threatening so much more than they had done before. I mean, we'll go for some more stats on that, heavy stats. We'll dig down deep into that next week. But I think it's when you start some of what you just chatted about, the offloading identity of France. It's when you look how England are with that. You start to notice a real difference in their identity with other teams. So you have a game plan they've fallen on a year ago, over a year ago, in which they're relying on transitions after aerial battles or poor kicks. So George Ford and Freddie Stewart become vital parts of the team. Now, other teams adapt, like talk about, and will start to work on that game, like France, like Ireland are already pretty bloody good at it anyway. So they're one of the teams who are aerially not a team that's going to worry too much about taking you on in that battle, and then so that part of the game gets nullified a bit, less transitions, less opportunities to act quickly, go a few points behind, and then have you got the right kind of people in your team to chase them down, especially with how the injuries played out. I'm not sure we had the guys on the pitch who could chase, and when we did have to chase, they're going to make errors that are going to lead to more opportunities for Ireland than us.
I'd also say like England completely abandoned the tactic. It wasn't just that other teams got better. England didn't bother kicking the last couple of weeks, which has worked so well. So I just feel like it was a bit of a handbrake turn tactically from them.
I'm not sure if it's tactical. Right? You wouldn't pick Freddie Stewart and
yeah,
George.
exactly.
Against Scotland, I think it's because they went points down. I think they were chasing it. As soon as they're chasing it, then that's the issue. Let's talk about chasing it. If you're chasing it, you need people who handle, attack the line well, and carry. You need that side of the game, offloaders. That's why being an all-court team is kind of important, and you're able to play in all the sectors. If you become reliant on one area, you're going to be in trouble. So I don't think it's tactical. I think it's more they've gone behind and they've had to change to another way of playing. And this is not. I
guess when your points down,
to do it.
Yeah, when you were points down, you were looking around at Johnny Wilkinson, Mike Catt, Will Greenwood, Jason Robinson. So You're probably sort of thinking,
but our game plan was more based around denying the opposition any kind of opportunity, very aggressive, controlling them. We had some players who could produce brilliant moments. We had a kicking game that could dominate the opposition. So that never goes out of fashion. But anyway, let's carry on. Let's talk about that another time.
There's plenty of time, and we will be getting into all of the Six Nations stuff and other rugby besides on the channel, so make sure you check it. For now, we've got 40 minutes. That's really important. Angoulême are not going to be challenging the playoffs, but they've got a proud home record.
Ooh, did he carry that back? That'd be a terrible error if it was.
That's a poor start for Valence if that's gone straight out, and an opportunity. Valence are a man down, having sprinted out to a 13-0 lead.
So there was a knock-on for the kickoff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Knock-on both ways.
Yeah.
So for Valence, they're in 4th place. They have got 4 wins on the road. They have made some changes which suggest that they're maybe focusing a little bit more on the home matches, which would mean a win here. They have still got some handy players out there, make no mistake, but if they
Valence do win here,
yeah, that's big. With 5 home games left out of their remaining matches.
Well, an extra Bezier behind them. Breeve's going to win against Dax, that's for sure. Yeah, it gives them some breathing space, some more security in that top.
Yeah, and of course, so they're in 4th at the moment, which would mean if they stayed there, they would have a home match when the playoffs begin in the first round of playoffs.
That'd be a huge effort. They managed to stay ahead of Breeve, especially. And oh yeah.
Well, so what sort of scrum are we going to get now? So Valence down a man, but they've put the full 7 in the pack, full 8 in the pack, I should say. But after munching Angoulême had a bit of a reaction in their last scrum of the half.
It looks solid now.
That looks rock solid. Nudge through. Oh, dearie me. We've had a few moments like that. A bit of football on this artificial turf. Ball sitting up. And that's taken Valence 80 metres. Big shot from Adrien Roux.
Again, that's poor decision making from the Soyaux Angoulême. 10, I think, decided to hit the short side. Wasn't really on. And making that pass to the winger, who's in not much space, right by the touchline. It's literally, you may as well throw the ball to the opposition. 2 poor moments from Angoulême.
Yeah, that was a hospital pass, wasn't it? Nowhere to go. Angoulême compete. It's off the top. Rador sets his back line in motion again. It's Ben Netheru. The big Fijian's been a focal point in the midfield. They've got a penalty advantage, so another error is compounded. This is what happened in the first half for Angoulême. Took them 20 minutes to wake up. Snipe round the edge. Escoff. Decent performance from the 20-year-old. Sign from Poe. And there's a man playing his first game of the season, Tom Ross, the Australian. Dummy pass from Terraces. Sorry, that was Chateau. Into the 22. Space both sides. They flood to the right. Snipe up the middle.
Ooh, took a hit
the
there.
Big man, Mawalu. Forward pass. We come back.
He may have done a terrible half-time interview. He's played well. Took that ball to the line very bravely again. I'd like to see that. That's a ballsy 10 for you.
Coach
when you run on the line like that, you get hits.
Again, it is a little bit of a changing of the guard at the half-back positions for Angoulême, and it's a bit of rotation for Valence.
Yeah, certainly the 9 is not looking his passing hasn't been adequate today. They haven't been producing many amazing sequences of play because they've been struggling to get the people in the right depth to run onto the ball. The passing hasn't been of the quality you need to repeatedly get phase after phase at 3 seconds or less that allows you to carry on playing on top of it. But there, yeah, that's a 10 who's not going to shy away from contact. That's a 10 you like to play with, as long as he can kick the ball.
Missed. So it stays a 7-point game.
Oof, that was a sitter.
2.5 minutes left on the yellow card. Valence could have finished it. 2 scores up. Angoulême will want to break the chain of errors and penalties in discipline cost them in the first half. It goes up into the Angoulême night sky. It's going to be a contest. Won by Carlo May. He gets smashed for his trouble. Faumusili seems to have rectified the issues he had in the first half at scrum time. He's continued carrying really strongly. As a scuff marshals his pack. Matu'u, he's had a 10-minute rest while he had his yellow card earlier. Tom Ross competing for it. Comes back.
Ooh. That is one of those you're wondering, as a fullback or a winger, do I catch it or do I let this go out? If you catch it, you probably get smashed. Ball for them. If you let it bounce, if it bounces on the pitch and randomly goes in a strange direction, it could be one of those moments. But let's have a look now. It did bounce. Honestly, they can go anywhere. The safest option is to probably take it and get smashed into touch. Or even better, take it flowing forward, smash the guy out of the way and carry on running, but not many fullbacks can do that.
I think Faumusili, you said he's looks like a 50-minute player. The first time you saw him in the match, he's done 45, Joe.
He's got stuck in, huh? He's not.
Yeah, he has.
Not be shy.
Done his fair share of carries, and that's a bit of energy that Angoulême needed. Now they've got territory. There is space on this left-hand side. Can they get the ball through the hands? Desperate defence from Valence. This is a big moment. Valence having just missed a kick, 7 points up. And you will hear the Stade Chanzy crowd go. If something comes off here, running down no man's land. No, what are you doing?
It might have been high, but why did he go back down that short side? Mental.
He ran down a dark alley with a couple of 110 kilo Fijians.
Yeah. Jesus. So close to the line. Yep. It was a high tackle. A few lucky breaks. Tough to see where on that angle.
I'm just enjoying the crowd. They're properly into this one. And what can Angoulême do? 5 metres. They're going for it. And they've got there. He's had an absolutely massive game.
He is keen.
Oh no, it's not Leo Labarthe. I thought it was.
It's the second row, isn't it?
Yeah. No. He's off the bench. Yeah, so replacement, Lamardele.
He is a doppelganger, to be fair.
He is, yeah. Well set.
Body-wise as well.
Rolled off round the right. They fancied that. What did they do, Joe? What did they do that meant they... Was that... gap on the fringe from Valence?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a contest. The first three were really tight without being illegal. So they couldn't separate them. And the three behind got the ball, got it back to the guy behind them. And then as it turned, they just fractured off at the right time. And as it had turned, it had taken out the majority of the Valence defenders. You see 5, 6 of them left as it spun. They all fell off to one side.
It's like that Coldplay concert couple.
Yeah, I know. That's the president of Soyaux Angoulême.
And his receptionist. It's a 2-point game. 49 minutes on the clock. We're on for a cracker, and this is, like I say, just the start. We're in round 22. There are 30 rounds of regular season games. As a scoffer goes mining for the rugby ball.
Yeah, that ruck was more like human art form than like a I don't know, it's like at Cirque du Soleil and they're trying to make some sort of shape out of human bodies. It's bizarre. Right, what do you call here?
I would still go territory here. Maybe call me boring. Oh no, for Valence they've got territory. I'd shape for a maul and then hit one of their big Fijian centre.
Hit the foul.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus, be some terrible throw.
Was there any contest?
I think someone did jump.
It was a proper pizza with a throw, wasn't it?
Il y a un bloc pour moi suffisant.
He was questioning the referee about the same things you just said to him. Yeah, that's enough.
Changement numéro 3.
Yeah, even if someone jumps like the ginger man from Angoulême jumped, then the throw, if it's not straight, will be called. If no one jumps, no one contests in the air, that throw would have been game on.
I had a question, Joe, in the chat, and thank you. Do get them in there about travelling fans to away matches. When it's a long trek, do you get like small groups of ultras who?
Yeah, definitely. Certain clubs have a lot more than others, but yeah, certainly people take a lot of pride and actually enjoy the trip. They organise like a picnic, and they'll meet up as they get there. There's a van meets and they'll arrange where to meet. Yeah, it's quite. Every club's got it to an extent. Certain clubs do it less than others, like Grenoble, for example, have a reputation as having no away fans. But for a lot of the other clubs in this league, going to have those diehards who go most places. Brive has certainly got a few hundred who will go everywhere.
Well, that was a big moment in this game as well. So we've seen Angoulême get absolutely marmalised in the scrum in the first half, then get parity, and now they've just won a scrum penalty.
J'ai le lanceur violet qui est blessé. Apparemment, Clément.
I think Matu's just saying, I'm 38, I just need a breather.
Okay.
Mimicking cramp.
Well, Mate,
38, get me off the pitch.
Yeah, get me off the pitch. Mamadou Mate had a pretty handy couple of minutes when he was covering for the yellow card earlier. Yeah, it's like a slightly tight calf, hamstring.
It'll take him a while to get off the pitch. I think he's travelling at about 1 mile an hour there.
Testing the depth of the squad, and this might be where potentially Valence come unstuck, because they have made a few changes. And they do have a relatively small squad.
Yeah, it's some of those third choices, fourth choices. If you're getting down to that kind of level, obviously these clubs with far less money, like Valence, will have players that are either very young or very bad.
Richie Arnold And Mate straight off the bench, wastes no time getting involved. Big carry that takes Angoulême into the 22 again. They've not been very productive on their 22 entries. Lots of them. 11 points to show for it. Now they're within one score. This feels like a big spell in the match. And going tight. I think they might fancy the physical confrontation. They certainly got that in the scrum. Big shots outside from the Valence tacklers. Mawalu gets hold of his opponent, comes back the other way, lift. Not sure if that was exactly as intended, but Lamardele got the ball away. That definitely wasn't as intended. Oh, Valence fancy this.
Good tackle.
L'avantage est terminé sur l'en avant.
Strategically being tackled inside the 22. One of Joe Worsley's pet peeves. It's worked out all right on this occasion for Valence. Staying in field though. What was that? Deliberately knocked on, I was going to say. Certainly a knock on.
Is he shouting himself?
C'est le deuxième, c'est la même chose.
They've just got back to 15. I think they're going down a man. They are.
Deuxième pour vous.
And they might be about to lose the lead for the first time in this match as well.
What's the coach thinking?
Well, in the first half, it was the...
I'll film this. Film him coming off now.
Spanderashvili. Oh dear, that's a really, really poor kick.
Oh my days.
Capitaine?
It was central on the pitch as well. Maybe a bit too far out for a three-pointer.
Oh, that's so dark, isn't it?
Ok, arrêt du temps, changement. 2, 5 et 8 changements.
Other penalty, what happened? No, the scrum, last second.
Him, elbow, towards the floor. Je viens là.
That's cool. That's good. Ref getting questions in English and French.
Messieurs, mêlés,
Yeah, that's nice.
la marque. 16.
Right, changes have been made. Valence need a little bit of energy.
Flexion. Lié. Ici, décalé. Gardez l'espace. Gardez l'espace. Décalez, messieurs, de 2 pas là. Nouvelle marque. Gauche.
Pas de bras cassés, pas de bras cassés.
Big blindside here, Joe. I suppose I just noticed Angoulême have got 2 guys on that side.
But because they've got that man down, there'll be less threat.
Flexion.
It's probably more about 50-22 options.
Lié.
Space in the backfield.
Yeah, it's not a bad shot.
It's hard to see from the setup. They'll probably fold out to their left and...
Oh, Angoulême, they've got to win the scrum first. Valence, they managed to get the ball out. It does go down that blind side, through the hands as well, but again, nowhere to go. There's one of the replacements, Fabreg. They've got a couple of experienced guys off the bench. Fabreg and Vachon are on. Fellas in there, well into their 30s. They've got a penalty advantage as well.
Tackle off the ball.
The attack hasn't really flowed since that first 10 minutes from Valence looked really slick.
Yeah, it's bigging them up before the game, so last year having that regularity of performance. whichever team was playing seemed to be able to produce the same shapes, the same ability to play. But yeah, this game today, the team's been unable to provide anything like the same levels of attack, the same. We saw, what, 5, 6 phases of play there, none of which was threatening, none of which saw someone flowing onto the ball with options around him to give him a killer pass at the line or an option to win a one-on-one. Yeah, very poor play.
Rador, the Petit General, sticks it in the corner. Just a moment ago, Angoulême fancied they might have gone ahead. Yeah, Richie Arnold not the only...
They look confused.
Yeah, Richie Arnold not the only giant Aussie running a line out in this game. Ryan McCauley, the guy there for Valence, towering above everybody else. And here we go, a little nudge through from Rador.
Ooh, jeez. I thought he was to smash him into the post then. Oh man, that was a brutal chip. Well read, yes, but they got to bounce.
Premeditated, looked like, didn't it? Well read.
Yeah, intelligent 10. They'd shifted him away because he's quite a weak tackler, or looks like a weak tackler. Why else would they move him? But yeah, he read it very well. So the +1, the guy outside the line out, came in too early before the hooker throwing the ball. So you got to wait for the throw and then you can come and lift. Very complicated, one of these complicated things about rugby that you need someone like me to tell you what the hell was going on there.
Don't need you to tell us what's going on here. The ball's going way up, coming down with ice on it. Won by Valence. Approaching the final quarter of the game. It's a 2-point match. We've had yellow cards, we've had some fisticuffs. We've had at least, well, we've had one great try. The game has tightened up. And small moments are feeling like big moments. What can Valence produce? The outside options have been shut down. Can they go through the middle? Lucero snipes. McCauley. McCauley knocked that on. Crowd asking for it. So are some of the players. Oh my word, what's... Play to the whistle. A lot of this game has been played in either team's 22.
Oh,
another handling error. Right, transition ball. Is there space? There's definitely space behind. Valence, I mean, you're a defence coach, Joe. Are you thinking, is this Angoulême's attitude that's meaning Valence are just not looking as smooth? Not getting the ball back around the edge?
Tonight the game's been some great moments, been a lot of mistakes as well. A lot of penalties have slowed down. The pass quality at times has been really atrocious. So, I mean, the 9 for Valence, for example, one of the reasons that his quality of pass tonight has just not been up to the standards but I think their coach would want or see. Let's see if Ben Botica can light things up. One player, see if he can make a change to a team and start to really pull the strings to make things work.
Well, it is the 2 young halfbacks that are coming off. Ben Botica. How many of his former clubs can you name, Joe? A little quiz question. Right, go.
Harlequins. Yeah. Cast.
Yeah.
Oyonnax.
Yeah.
There's another one in England, isn't there? Ireland somewhere, do you know that?
I'm not sure about that one. I think you might be thinking of Jimmy Gopperth. Montpellier and UBB.
Of course it's Bordeaux, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
What about New Zealand?
Yeah, I can't remember any of the New Zealand ones. Those are the European ones, I think. But he's on. is 36. He's won some winning penalty kicks before. Last season he did a few times for Angoulême. He's got a lovely left peg on him, which could try and put Angoulême in the right areas of the pitch. Valence are not in the right areas of the pitch right now as Debrecon tries to run the ball back. Oh, went backwards, so Angoulême can play. Mété just overran that a little bit, manages to generate some momentum. Big shots going in both sides. Will it go out the back? It does. There's space. Exactly the kind of passing that Joe Worsley was just talking about. Good result.
It's a shame. Yeah, Ben Botica gave a beauty out the back. Good decision. The defence had tightened up. There was no space in front of them, no space for the forwards to hit. Now that means there's no space in front of him. There's probably space out wider, so he went for the wide option. We'll see that in a minute. The Valence 10 on the other hand, Berge, very poor decision there from that position. Yeah, but 15 there. See how he didn't read the body language of the Fijian defending in front of him? Didn't fix him. If it had have been a player who could attack the line, a player that attack the line would read his body language and hold on that ball, be through line break.
Valence Roman on their own line. 2 minutes left on their second yellow card as we move into the final quarter of the game. This place has been bouncing already this evening. Not happy with that exit, understandably. Thomas Lazaro.
He's like a toddler. That hat doesn't look like official Soyaux Angoulême material. The baseball cap he's on.
Six-man line out, is it, with a +1 because they're setting up for a maul? Looks like it. In they go. They got some change out of it a moment ago with a try. Better D from Valence. One of their men's come right through the middle as he got hands on the ball. Mété manages to get it to deck. Oh, the little disguised nudge. That's going to be a 5-metre scrum. That little nudge, that well disguised, was that Ben Botica?
Definitely, that is very Ben Botica material.
Delicious kick. Oh, that's cheeky.
Or was he onside?
Arrêt du temps, il y a toujours le joueur blessé au sol.
I saw one player stop. It wasn't a clean pass, was it? Ben Botica took a long time to kick it. I think they're having a look as to see where he's onside. I think it was okay. Yeah, beautiful kick into the back. I mean, when they're executed like that, your worst case scenario is you're going to have a scrum like they've got now, which is an amazing attacking position.
This is big. Angoulême have not led at any point in this game. They also had a scrum that was on roller skates in the wrong direction in the first half, but I think they're going to have a pop here. Botica directly behind the scrum. There's hours of work goes in on the training paddock for exactly moments like this. He thinks something's about to happen. Oh, did it spill out the side? Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Esteban Chouteau. Looks like he's won that penalty for his team. Respite.
I think the ref said it was turning, but
Arrêt du temps. Et là.
It's hard to tell. scrummaging. I think we need to invent a way of filming from on top and both sides in every game with drones or something.
We need to get AI. That's the only thing we need AI for.
Yeah, scrummaging. Save scrummaging.
Yeah, work out what on earth is going on. Is that some bagpipes I can hear?
I think so.
Love it. Right, we need to get to more of these grounds and these games, Joe.
Definitely need to.
I need to come to Perpignan for one.
And all the FRUK boys are keen for another tour as well. They want to, because the last one was sub-zero temperatures and the worst weekend the weather in Perpignan.
Not seeing the best of Perpignan, no.
They've seen in 82 years. They probably want to do another tour which is more sunshine and good times. One of them had to go to bed, he was so cold. But yeah, definitely, Tim, we need to get out. We need to get out to France together with a posse.
Again, yeah.
Do fun things.
I mean, I will just point your attention to the special episode documentary.
Hey, we haven't talked about that for a while. Episode 1 was fantastic, mate.
Yeah, of our trip to the Basque Country, it was ace.
Not much Joe Worsley in that one, but...
No, you were off.
I was off
hobnobbing.
Doing work and stuff. I can't remember what I was doing.
Was it work?
I'm not sure. But day 2 was an epic day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
When are we going to see day 2?
That episode will be coming out very soon. What I recommend is that you just subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. And if you haven't watched episode 1, watch episode 1.
Some Lawrence Dallaglio inspired rhetoric.
What was that? What was he saying?
No, he was inspiring my
all right.
Call to arms.
Oh, I see.
This is yeah.
Oh, I bet you've got some Lawrence Dallaglio stories. That's something I want to come to France and pin you down over. A few beers, get some lol stories.
That would be interesting. But
oh, quick change of subject. Anyway.
So stock market.
Right, this front rows have been spoken to. Look very similar to the first one. This time the penalty goes the other way for... Oh, no. Yeah, it goes the other way.
Going round.
The same penalty to the other team.
Sharing them out. I'm not sure he's got any idea what actually happened. But come on, Ben, stick it down there.
If I was reffing scrums, I think I might just openly say I'm going to take a magic 8 ball in my pocket and just do that.
Remember, this game for Angoulême is pretty big. They don't want to go into any kind of...
Yeah, they could get dragged into, potentially, a relegation battle. They'd probably like to think a 12-point cushion is enough, but they won't want to bank on it. And as you've already seen, they're developing their stadium. They want to give this home crowd something. They've turned out. They're making some noise. Angoulême have a penalty advantage. And Ben Botica has got a deadly left peg.
I think you take the 3.
Penalty against Hugo Fabrega. It is going to be Botica. We've seen this movie many, many times before.
They got great height on him, but as he came down towards the opposition team, not the ideal way to set up a maul, I would say.
Sweetly struck Ben Botica, all those years of experience. Cool customer, and for the very first time in the game, Angoulême ahead 14-13.
Mr. Money time. He's a good man to have on the pitch at these moments.
And that's the way round to do it, isn't it? Like the young man Burge has been, he was really handy. Ben Botka's played in big matches, money time games, as Joe Worsley says. He's had a big shift. Leo Labath.
Great kickoff.
Is a good kickoff. Valence. They want to give away any penalties here. Territory's going to be massive. I think this is could well go down to a kick. Still 13 minutes to go. And that's a tidy exit as well. Alexis Levron. Opticians are a big deal, aren't they, in France? There's always this very stylish eyewear everywhere you look.
And multiple pairs, different ones on. Change after 2 months to a different pair.
That one is straight off the training ground. It's gone edge to edge from the line out over the top to the left-hand touchline. Debrecon took that one in. Another replacement. Asamoah. As it goes back down, flashes down the blind side. Axel Boucher. Asamoah again, he's clearly been brought on. His job's to carry. Angoulême defence manful, but that was too high and he's been steamrolled over. Oh, Rador, pass goes astray. So it was Bambi on ice in the middle of the pitch.
It's not the ideal place to do that.
I think that's Lamar Delay.
He must have taken a hit in the throat.
He has to. Was it a throat? Yeah, throat.
It was an elbow. They could go back and have a look at that one. The face planted there.
Yeah.
So it's just a shoulder in the throat. That was unlucky, going from the jackal into a held-up turnover maul. Do you reckon the French ever watch English rugby, and what would be our equivalent to their glasses that you see the English
It's a good question.
staff wearing? Would there be an English item that would stand out?
I don't see. No, I do. I was about to say I don't see French coaches or staff wearing beanie hats, but they do when it's cold. That's a great question. Any thoughts in the chat? What's like stereotypically English? The equivalent. I can't. And I was also trying to think of an English coach with like stylish glasses. I cannot think of a single one. Chinos and club blazers, perhaps. We've had the chat here. Thank you, Nota. Tattoos. Breakdown is absolutely fierce.
That's a turnover on turnover.
Yeah, it was. One way and the other. We're into the final 10 minutes. It's a 1-point game. What more do you want to start your weekend of rugby? Rodor running one way, then the other, getting absolutely smashed, but not before he gets the ball away. Pass is not quite in front of the man, and this is not a good call. And see Mawali, who's got the heft to stay in field, unlike some of the other wingers we've seen tonight. Asamoah has been busy. Oh, you can see they're lining up, maybe trying to overload. Smart call from Rador, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Rodor, again, you saw inability to track the line, and the players often were too flat, not offering any threat to drag defenders away, not giving many options anyway. So again, that Valence system, Merey's not there, some other key players not there, just not producing the same number of chances as it usually would.
Pareil, c'est formel, on se dépêche. Combien?
To be fair to Angoulême, their line-out's been pretty tidy.
Yeah, with a player like him, you'd have thought so.
Look, I wonder whether he was walking off to the... I don't think he's going anywhere. He's up highest. And Lamardeley round the corner.
Ooh, not a fan of those complicated exits. 2 passes from forwards, intricate at the line.
The extra pass only, what?
That inside ball especially.
The extra inside ball gained them an extra couple of metres. Risk reward. It's not paid off. There's a job to do now at scrum time. We've had a penalty one way, a penalty the other from the last 2 scrums. Job done for Thomas Luzero tonight.
Bit of a cut.
Bit of a juggle in the back line, I think. Got Marceline back on. Centre replacing a scrum half. So is Rodor in at 9? No, he's staying at 10. Dumas. Not since that opening 10 minutes have we seen a real crisp attack from Valence. I'm not sure we're going to see one then, I was going to say, because there's no scrum, but Marceline's just back on the field. Big attack. 7 minutes to go. 1 point game. Territory important, possession absolutely critical, and that defensive line has got to fly off. This could be a pivotal moment in the match. Valence are staying tight, they're into their 22 drill, not going to get caught out short of numbers at the breakdown. That means there isn't the numbers out wide. Not enough of Angoulême's defence is folding. Just waiting for that moment. Oh, that was absolutely not the intention. They were waiting for the moment. They tried to force the moment.
Again, they're so naive. They have no penalty, right?
Nope.
Why are they, again, on slow ball when it's blatantly not on doing that? Incredible. Naive game management.
Suggestion on the English equivalent of the stylish glasses would be moustaches. There's a lot of that going on. The mullet doesn't seem to be as big of a thing in France as it is in England.
No, I don't think the mullet's that popular. Moustaches are very... I think there's probably more moustaches here, I think.
Yeah, I think there probably is.
Moustache per head. I'm racking my brains for...
French coaches don't wear shorts as much, do they?
I think maybe the English were more short orientated.
Because we're harder. That's what you're saying, isn't it, Joe?
Of course.
And Valence all the way back on the halfway line again. Now they're trying to play to the edge. Is it on?
Or feed.
Adrien Martin. Counter-ruck slows it up. 5 minutes on the clock. This is very consequential. This almost makes Angoulême safe for the season. For Valence, a win would be absolutely massive for their playoff push. Bandarashvili got a yellow card earlier, wraps up his man. Surely Angoulême are just going to play some territory here. There's a lot of chat with the ref in English. Handy for us. Counter ruck again from Angoulême. It's getting loose. What's it called?
No way.
Not a chance, surely. Oh.
No way.
I don't think so. Ooh.
They really overcommitted to the counter ruck. There was actually a lot of space. Is this ball being allowed to be played?
Oh no. No, no, no.
Who gave that? The ref himself. A bit of anger there. No.
Andrew on the chat says you never see a French coach with a notebook. Is that true?
No, there's think of Mignoni carries a clipboard around.
Yeah, actually in the chat exactly that's what Mignoni does. Is the very next comment.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike. What would you?
Different colour pens and stuff like that. It's fully.
What do you have, Joe? Do you have a little notebook on you?
No, honestly, I think if you can't remember it, then it's not relevant. It should be sticking to your mind. So mental pin. I put mental pins on things happening. Certain aspects of the game.
That's what I'm going to start. I'll tell you what. That's what I'm going to start saying to my wife when she asks me about the jobs I said I do and haven't done. If I didn't remember it, it's not important.
I'm useless when it comes to that. That's why I do need a notebook.
Into the final 4 minutes. Oh no!
Oh, that'll come out. The ref is looking elsewhere. They got to ask first.
For Breg, he's given up a few penalties, and that could be a really, really costly one.
Oh, and David Ruiz went out of word at half time. He's come out and given some big decisions here.
And now it's the Valence coach just not happy. We saw the complete reversal in the first half.
Yeah, that poor guy, the fourth official, huh? Imagine being that guy.
I understand what's going on. I understand him, though. That is out.
So out.
That's out.
And the way he's got his arms as well. The way he's got his arms out like that. Yeah. That's what the coach is saying.
Wow.
That is a diabolical decision.
Well, the last two decisions. See, I agree, totally agree with this call.
This time.
Time and Valence have got to go 80 metres, even if they do win it.
Yeah, instead of having like a minute, then a whole 2 minute, maybe 2 minutes to stop and score and try.
Well, I think that's just absolute proof. There might have been some calls that didn't go Angoulême's way. They always even themselves out. You've got to control the things you can control. Valence have had their opportunities. And Angoulême from being 13-0 down. Are close. They could be about to win this one. Matey on the line. Not only could they win the game, they could take a losing bonus point away from Valence. Inches.
Oh, penalty again.
Oh, Valence. Now it's a battle just to fight to keep 1 point.
Laissez la balle, va. La touche.
We've had some great games recently. The last few have gone down to the wire.
Combien? 5.
Arnold up in the middle. They've already scored from one more. And they're chucking everyone in there. They're going to take this one away from Valence. Oh, incredible defence on their own line. 1 minute to go.
Avantage pénalité entre latéral 4 blancs.
Angoulême. They don't need the try. just need to keep their hands on the ball. Not give it away like that.
My God. They got a penalty advantage or not? Yeah.
Another penalty advantage. Okay, fine. Well, now they can just give it to Botica to take the 3, right? Win the game. Yeah.
As long as he doesn't hit the post.
Niveau en termes de discipline. On peut regarder là la mauvaise. Merci capitaine, allez vous placer à 5 mètres. Ici, entrée latérale, 4 blancs. Autour?
Yeah, go post. Which I think Valence, or at least they're going to get their defensive bonus point for finishing within 5.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that after. Not after being 13 points ahead, but certainly after the team they've sent up here. Hasn't been an amazing performance from them. Again, we're not seeing that Soyaux Angoulême we saw last year, who could burst into action, players playing incredibly well. Missing a few of those guys now, and the team's not quite as dangerous as it was, is it? But Valence, resting many of their first team, I'm sure will be on to bigger things at the end of this season, certainly I think in the playoffs.
They'll take their point, as you can hear the Stade Chanzy. A 7th win out of 11 at home. Safety and Predator secured. Home record cemented. And the extras added from Ben Botica to end this match. 17-13. From 13-0 down. And
another emotional roller coaster. The president. Oh, they're out again. Yes.
The tune's on. The president's down. The pyrotechnics are going. The fans are loving it. We've had another cracker on FRUK. They're sometimes lacking a little bit of quality with the passing, with the handling, but no lack of effort. Some huge shots, some big moments. And a great win for Soyaux Angoulême, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, we said at the start, getting dragged down into relegation dogfight where confidence can go and issues can rise can be a horrible end to the season. They're going to be over the moon with that result. Valence sending the team they did. I mean, you ought to see. Obviously, they've got to get bigger fish to fry. Bigger fish to fry, we could say in the future. I mean, their next fixture is quite a big one, so I'm sure that's the reason. It's such a long season. They're already deep into that long season. I'm sure they're resting some of these key players for what's going to come down the line.
I'm trying to work out from who's on the camera who got the man of the match award. I've got no idea who it would be. Maybe Leo Labarthe, the
yeah, I think actually
the young lock.
He was all over the shop.
He was putting it about. I love this tune. Well, we'll see if we can get the interviews in. Well, if we don't get the interviews in, then
some great shots of disappointed players.
Yeah, go and check out the great content on the channel.
I think there's an interview coming right now.
Basque Country episode, and let's hear what Valence have to say.
Avec Adrien Martin, auteur de tous les points de cette équipe de Valence Roman. C'est passé près. Qu'est-ce qu'il a manqué ce soir pour faire le coup à Angoulême?
Ouais, c'est passé près. Des détails, hein, c'est sûr. Donc moi, là, je rate la pénalité qui peut nous mettre
pretty
un peu
tight.
de
There
confort.
are small details.
Voilà, ça compte derrière.
The more we
on
took the penalty,
des petits ballons là-bas qu'on laisse sortir alors qu'on doit être dessous.
the ballon we let go off the pitch at the wrong moment.
Parce qu'aujourd'hui, on a montré du caractère.
They jumped on us at that
On
point.
s'est filé, on a
We
donné
showed
un
character
bon état
and
d'esprit
pride.
et c'est ça qu'il faut retenir, je pense, aujourd'hui.
We've got to hold on to that
Par rapport à la
after
semaine
today.
dernière, vous êtes passé un peu à côté à Agen. On sait que ça a un peu ronflé dans la semaine. Dans l'état d'esprit, vous êtes retrouvés ce soir?
Ouais, on s'est retrouvés.
Yeah, so the last away game they got taken down by Agen pretty badly. This one, is it good for the spirit that they've come back and he's saying, yeah. We let nothing go. Second half really kept on them.
C'est de bon augure justement pour le gros enchaînement qui vous attend parce qu'il y a des grosses équipes